Hey everyone, Thomas Edwards, creator of The Intentional Self and founder of The Professional Wingman. I want to welcome you to the Weekly Intention. The Weekly Intention shares personal stories of the trials of life, the tribulations and triumphs that come with it, and the gifts of learning we can take away so you can apply it to your own life with intention. Considering this is the first episode that I'm doing, I want to welcome you guys for watching this for the first time. And this has been a long time coming for many reasons. One, I haven't done videos like this for the mass public and for many years. And a lot of it is because I was scared and afraid of how people are going to respond. I think what has happened, actually I won't say I know what has happened. As many of you guys have known, I've been doing professional coaching, especially in the line of dating relationships for over 10 years and have been able to be pretty successful at it. And with that success came a lot of responsibilities, a lot of ups and downs and turns, and a lot that as you get older become much more significant over time. And all of a sudden you realize that your life and how you treat your life and how you treat yourself can affect people beyond you. It has an effect beyond you. I'm very fortunate to have a wife and a daughter, and when you take on a lot of those responsibilities, which I'm sure many of you who are watching this understand, there's a lot of emotional stuff that goes on inside of us, and we begin to start questioning if we can do this, if we can hold up, whether you're an entrepreneur or someone who just has a job that requires a lot of responsibility, whether you have children, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. I think one big thing that gets misconstrued a lot is people have it easier when they're in a relationship, or they have it easier when they're single. Both, whether you're single or your relationship, comes with responsibilities and comes with a lot of potentially emotional strain that you have to handle. And this particular video, I want to cover a particular theme that I want this year to be about, that it is for me, and that I want for you guys to consider as a possible theme for you. Now, every year since I've been doing this, since I've been in business, I've had a theme for every year. In fact, I actually pulled out my computer so I can look at the many years. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years, so every year's had a theme. And so let's go back. So 2009 was the year of the gentleman. Bringing back the idea that men can be gentlemen and men can treat women gentlemanly in a way that's attractive and can actually get into a relationship. 2010 was the year of action, actually stepping up and doing something, doing the work necessary to produce the results that you want. 2011 was the year of hustle. I remember I actually had moved to New York that year, and trust me, when you're in New York, all you understand is hustle, but the importance of really working hard, especially when others aren't, to get what you want. 2012 was the year of momentum. So how do you build upon the production that you've already been setting? 2012 was really a big year for me personally, and I know for a lot of other clients that I worked with, when it came to leveraging what they were already able to do to create more in their lives. In fact, 2012 was the year where I was starting to get even more and more marriages as a result of the work that I've done. 2013 was the year of trust, particularly trusting yourself and trusting in the process of life. Oftentimes we get so bogged down with the stresses of life and the challenges that sometimes we wonder, can we actually hold up? And 2013 was a big year of just trusting yourself, trusting what you're capable of, and trusting the process. 2014 was the year of investment, finally deciding that you can invest in yourself and reap returns for a lifetime. One of the things I learned from my coach is that you are the most valuable asset. And so you will only go as far as you invest in yourself. And so 2014 was a year of investment. That was also the year that I got married. And so that required a large investment of ourselves and of our time and our energy. And it was a very, very special year. In fact, one of the best years that I've had in my life in my 20s. 2015 was the year of emotional fitness. Being able to build emotional endurance, understanding that as life throws things at you, whether they're great or not so great, that you have the capability of being able to withstand all there is that comes your way. And if you can't, to have the tools and learn how to be able to do, to endure and be resilient, which is very important. 2016 was a year of better, just getting better at life, better at things that you enjoy, better at things you don't enjoy, better at things you're not good at, better at things that you are good at, and just really focusing on incrementally just improving upon your current status. 2017 was the year of choice, making priorities and boundaries the most important thing. Being able to choose between things that you want to do, things you don't want to do, what's important in your life, and being able to make choices around that. And then I looked and I saw 2018, I didn't set a theme. And lo and behold, 2018 was my most tumultuous year, personally and also in business. Now, in business and my clients had tremendous success, but in terms of direction, growth, strategy, I had nothing. No guidance, no support, no clarity as to what I wanted. And that actually ended up affecting my personal life, where I started to stop taking care of myself. I started to have negative thoughts and feelings about myself, and in turn treated myself in that way, which then affected my relationships with other people, my friends, my wife, and also like my clients. And even though my clients did not necessarily experience this in terms of the results they got, I knew that how I was showing up was very different than how I could show up because of all this internal turmoil that I was going through. And I know a lot of you guys can relate to this. When you feel like you're alone and you feel like the world it's you against the world, and you feel like there's no one out there to support you, it's very easy to believe that you can't do this. I remember being in that place many times. When I talk about my love life, being married, 2018 was a very difficult year for both of us, in terms of just connection, and also self-love. I was not giving myself any types of love. I would constantly feel emotional and isolate myself, whether it's through video games or drinking a bunch, which, when you're in the 20s, that probably doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in your 30s and it becomes things that affects your life, it becomes a problem that, ends up becoming very damaging to not just your personal health, but to your personal relationships. When it came to my lifestyle, the community that I had around me was not supportive, and they were not helping me become better. In fact, they were making things worse. And, I was not being a leader of my household, I was not being a leader for you guys, not being a leader for my clients. There was a lot of just lack of education, lack of contribution, because I was so busy looking for validation, and I know for a lot of you guys, especially when you guys come to me looking for dating advice and just general personal relationship advice, validation is one of the key things that we all seek, and we look to seek connection, and we also look to avoid rejection. But by avoiding rejection, we don't really give ourselves a chance to create connection, and that's what I was doing by isolating myself. And this is something I commonly see with my clients. And the last thing is legacy. I had no clarity. I have a daughter, and while that's amazing, and I consider myself an amazing father, outside of that, I had no clarity or direction as to where I wanted to take my life, and how I wanted to impact other people, and how I wanted to show up in the world. And when you lose sight of that, it gets very difficult to wake up and get up every day, to take on the emotion and responsibilities of life, and then get home and not feel the need to want to sedate or escape or isolate or ignore or push down your feelings or emotions. And I know for a lot of you and a lot of the clients I've worked with, this is all something that we've gone through. And in the latter half of 2018, despite all the stuff that I ended up going through, feeling alone, not having many friends, constant friction and conflict with my wife and my other personal relationships, I realized that in order for things to change, that I needed to change. I needed to transform. I needed to change everything. I wanted to change everything across my love life, across my lifestyle, how I was showing up as a leader, and also the legacy that I wanted to leave on this planet and in my life. And so fortunately, being a coach, I was able to figure out how to coach, myself and then learn that there's 3 things that are super important: the structure, the strategy, and most importantly, there's support. And that was the one thing that I did not have in my life. I did not have people around me that supported me. I did not have people that I could go to and talk about and share what my personal struggles were, whether it was going through depression or the binge drinking that was going on, or even the conflicts I was having with my wife. We all need people that we can go to, that we can trust and that are safe, that can not necessarily give us advice, but just to talk to and listen and just hear us out and to understand that our emotions are valid. And accept all those things. And the support was super key in my personal transformation. It still is to this day. And it has led me through the rest of the year into 2009 and through 2009 with a single idea, and I wrote it down here. Who I was up until July 1st, 2018, because that was a very important day, just in terms of my transformation. There was something that clicked in my mind that said this something needs to change in my life, that I wasn't capable of living the life that I wanted, and that the person that I was at that moment needed to die, and a new transformed version of myself needed to be born. And so this is why I'm calling 2019 the year of rebirth. Like myself, I know there's many clients that I work with, and many of you who might be watching right now who are thinking to yourself, man, there's so much I want to accomplish this year, and I know that I just don't have it in me right now. But the truth of the matter is, you do. You just need to find that and become that person. And who you are today is not capable of attaining or achieving the things that you set out for. You need to rebuild, and you need to be reborn. And I will tell you, when it comes to transformation, after doing this for nearly 10 years, it's virtually impossible to seek transformation and to go through the process and think you can do it by yourself. I think many times, we look at personal development, and I would say this, we take it too personally, as if we need to do this by ourselves. And I will tell you, the most famous people, the most successful people in this world would not be there without support of other people. Sure, there are people out there who have told them, and who probably tell you that you can't do that you shouldn't do that. How are you going to pull that off? And ultimately, those people, they don't matter. But when you only have those people in your life telling you can't do things, you start to believe that. But when you have people who support you and say, hey, go after it. Whatever you need, I got your back. Whatever happens, I have your back. That creates a certain power, a certain energy, a certain focus inside of you that makes you actually believe that you can get that done. And I wrote this down because I think it's very important. The lesson that I want to share with you guys here when it comes to rebirth and to getting to where you want to go is ultimately this. In order to achieve something you've never done, you must be a completely transformed version of yourself, meaning you must be willing to die as you presently are today in a figurative sense in order to be born the man or woman that you need to be. Because right now, the person that you are today isn't capable of achieving a higher level. And let me give you a couple examples. I'll give you one example of that. I'm using a phone right now to record this video, and I'm sure some of you guys are using a phone to watch this video or listen to this audio or even read this. And many of you know that this is used on an operating system. You see Apple's iOS. And as you know, they constantly upgrade the operating system. Why? Because there are certain features that they give you that could not be possible in the old operating version. And so constantly, as annoying as it might be, there's constant software updates that we need to implement in our computers, in our phones, in our tablets, in any of our electronic devices in order to get new features, in order to create more stability, in order to have more security, in order to have all the things that we want in a user experience that is joyful and productive and efficient. And just like computers, similar to computers, we as individuals need to spend time upgrading our software to create upgraded software that can create more features for us, more benefits for us, more capabilities for us, more power for us. And we could do it across our love lives. We can do it in our lifestyles. We can do it in how we show up as leaders, and we can do it for our legacy, guys. And that's the big thing that I want to share with you as a lesson. And how you can apply this really starts with crafting clarity around the impact, your legacy that you want to leave in 2019 and beyond. You know, for me, the priorities are very simple. You know, in my love life, I want to make sure that I'm highly connected to my wife and that my family is connected and secure and thriving in 2019. You know, in terms of my lifestyle, I want to be able to have great relationships with close friends and other dads and other entrepreneurs, and also just have more joy in the things that I love, like video games and going to movies and swimming, that I learned to swim last year, in jiu-jitsu, and so many other things I want to explore that I haven't given myself the chance to explore, because before I thought that I wasn't capable of it. In my leadership, you know, my idea is to take this business to the next level. You know, I can do so much more than just help people in dating, and this video is the beginning stages of me showing that to the world, and you watching and listening and reading this today. And lastly, the legacy that I want to leave in 2019 is I want to be a man reborn. I want to look unrecognizable than the person I was in 2008 in a positive way, for my business, taking things to new levels, to how I look at my body, how I'm taking care of myself, I'm keeping myself active and fit, how I'm connected spiritually to the universe and God and meditation, to the personal relationships I have in my life, and the many more that I can create through my work and through my personal life. There's so much more, and the list can go on and on and on and on. But I have a question for you, is where in your love life, in your lifestyle, how you show up as a leader at work or in your personal life and legacy, do you find yourself knowing you need to transform but don't know how to do it, or scared to do it, or you're just lazy and you don't want to do anything about it? And the second question is what can you do today? What do you intend? What is your intention for today to make the first step towards that very transformation, that very rebirth that you desire? I want you to post comments below here and just share with me and share with the community, you know, what it is that you want to leave. What is the transformation that you want to experience in 2019? It could be anything. It could be small, it could be great, but anything that pushes the needle forward. And I'll tell you guys, this is one of the many things that I support my clients with on their journey of transformation. And if this is something that you'd like support with structure and strategy, and most importantly, support, then I'd love for you guys to click the link below or go to thomasedwardsjr.com/talk and let's talk about it. I'm so excited to share many more of these weekly intentions with you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Until then, this is Thomas Edwards saying, keep it simple, be amazing, and live intentionally.